Hi beautiful soul. In this video I want to talk about how to cultivate main character energy in your life, step into your own power and embrace your uniqueness to take control of your life with confidence. So here are some things that I have done that I hope someone finds helpful. So the first one is connecting to your higher self. So it's really important for us to connect to our higher selves, and our higher selves are the highest version of us without all of the conditioning and the programming and the trauma and the negativity and the negative thinking and all that kind of thing. So we do this through meditation, journaling, introspection, deepening our understanding of our purpose, our desires. It's about that. It's about that version of us that wants the highest good for all, for ourselves, for everyone around us, and for the world and for the planet. So that's connecting to your higher self, very important. The next one is raising your vibration. So engaging in activities that bring joy. For me, that's dancing, nature walks, creative expression, connecting with beautiful people, blocking out anything negative or bad. I don't watch the news. I don't participate in any negative types of conversations. I don't associate with negative people. I eat a whole food plant-based diet. I don't drink alcohol. I don't do drugs. It's about getting rid of anything toxic and only allowing healthy things into our lives. That's going to raise your vibration. And that also means getting deep, loving yourself, doing all that stuff. And that's the next one, practicing self-love. And you can do this through things like affirmations. However, for me, I have found the most effective thing to promote self-love has been doing the deep, dark shadow work, working on all of my insecurities, my shame, anything that made me not feel good about myself, anything that I was embarrassed to share, going really deep down. And this can be done via a number of methods, which includes journaling, things like that, meditation, workshops like shadow work workshops, going to a psychologist, understanding yourself more. All of these things, getting really deep down to the core of your self-worth issues or insecurities and things like that, fears, which all come back to some sort of self-worth or trauma or something. Working on that and healing those things and being able to understand yourself better and show yourself the compassion that you never received, the validation of your emotions that never happened when you were a child, for example. These are the things when you can validate yourself, when you can love yourself, when you can do inner child work and pour love and care and attention into that, and integrate your inner child back within yourself. These are the things I think that, really cultivate self-love. And from that place, you are confident. And from that confidence, you're making better decisions for yourself in your life, and you're able to kind of really step into that main character energy and direct your life in a way that you know you're deserving of, because you've done all the work to kind of remove any fears or barriers or lack mentalities out of there. The next one is trusting your intuition. So coming back to that making decisions thing in your life, we can't make good decisions for ourselves if we're not making them based on our own intuition. So I find that if I'm super busy, if I'm rushing around, if my schedule is too back to back, there's little space to actually kind of connect back with myself and tap into my own intuition. And when you're in that place of not being tapped in, external opinions and external things, I think, influence us to make decisions, not based on what we want or what's best for us, based on what other people think is best for us, or not even that sometimes, what other people think is best for them out of you that benefits them as well. So I think this is really important. If you want to be the main character of your own life, you need to trust your intuition. And you can only trust your intuition if you're connected to yourself, if you're making space and time to be alone without distractions, without noise, without trying to be busy, just to create space for yourself. And that can be going for a walk in nature or being at home, meditating, listening to meditation music. It can be anything really. Whatever works for you to kind of tune back in with yourself. I have done a 10-day Vipassana course before, and I found that, particularly when I was younger, to be super effective in terms of like really getting in tune with myself, because I think my mind was scattered. I have ADHD, and so the first 3 days of that course was my mind just chattering at me all day, constantly singing songs to me. Total scatterbrain, lot of chatter internally. And it's a silent retreat, so no speaking for 10 days and meditating like 10 hours a day. By the 4th day, my mind was calmer. My intuition started to come online. You know, I was just having not huge epiphanies, because at that time I lived by myself, and I think that was really helpful, just to be in my own mind as well and make decisions for myself based on my intuition. But it was really about my intuition confirming the choices I was making in my life at the time. And I think that was really helpful. So I know that it can seem like a really daunting thing to do a 10-day silent meditation retreat where you don't talk to anyone, and people have responsibilities, and that might not be possible for everyone. But now that I've done that, I can do 1-day ones. There's 3-day ones, there's shorter ones. I even meditate at home sometimes, which is more, I guess, accessible to people. So that can be really helpful too. So that's really important. Tuning into your intuition so you can make decisions based on that intuition. And part of what I was talking about before in terms of like self-love is about when you make decisions not based on your intuition, and we all sometimes slip and make the wrong decision for ourselves. It's about showing ourselves compassion and forgiving ourselves for making a mistake and then just getting it back on track. So the next thing is about embodying divine energy. So we all have masculine and feminine energies within us. And so if we're talking about that, there is a balance that's required. However, I'm like really stepping into my divine feminine energy, which I'm absolutely loving. And that's things like intuition, receptivity, you know, tapping into your inner knowing, trusting the flow, trusting the universe, rather than forcing results. It's about nurturing and emotional depth. And that's like creating safety in your life through empathy, patience, care, things like this. It's also about creativity and co-creation, and that's co-creation with the universe, God, allowing ideas to just come in like a download. It's amazing. It's not about forcing ideas. It's about creating space for really cool ideas and epiphanies just to come in and happen, which they do. And to allow other things to come in, like to allow your intuition to give you a idea of, I'm going to go here today, I'm going to go there today. And you go there and you have a synchronistic meeting with someone. It's magic. It's magical. It's also about the cyclical nature of things, about magnetism. So moving in rhythms. So rest, action, like this. Like always doing things, then recharging our battery, then your cup is full, then you're able to kind of flow out into the world again. So managing energy levels is really important. And that means that you're always attracting what you need simply by being in the present moment with your high vibration. So divine masculine energy is about logic, decisive action, and that's more around orienting your attention and direction outwards. So that's like having goals, making plans, scheduling. It's also about boundary setting. It's also about protection and leadership. So being in your masculine energy is about offering structure, stability, that yes, I've got this energy. It's also about strength and rationality. So grounding visions and epiphanies and downloads from kind of your intuition or your mind into reality through firm and confident steps. It's more linear and directive, so it drives progress forward in a straight line, moving things forward in the right direction until those goals are ultimately achieved. And so these do need to dance together for all of us. Like, we all need to cultivate both. And being in your main character energy requires both, because if you're getting epiphanies and downloads and things like this, you need to have the masculine side to take that flow into like something tangible in this material world that we're in. And so it's about receiving the ideas, then acting on them. It's about being versus doing. And so it is this kind of flow of energy that we all need to manage in terms of balancing them within us. And the reason why balance matters is because too much feminine energy can lead to people pleasing kind of tendencies and martyring ourselves and neglecting ourselves for other people. Too much masculine energy or an imbalance of masculine energy risks things like burnout, which I'm very familiar with. So cultivating both means you can feel deeply and move decisively and nurture your vision for your main character, ultimate dream life. And so in terms of practical steps, it's about taking ownership of your narrative. So we need to, and this is something I think I did for way too long. In my 20s in particular, was seriously waiting to be rescued. Like, I know it's like embarrassing to kind of admit, but I was waiting for someone to come and rescue me from my life. And I think a lot of people do that. They're waiting around for something to happen, but no one's coming. Like, maybe they will come later in life, but for now, we all need to be like making things happen for ourselves. So making intentional choices that align with our goals, and that is super empowering as well. When you finally say, okay, no one's coming to rescue me. My life is my responsibility. I need to take ownership of the decisions that I make. I need to take ownership of my life and get really clear on what I want and actually make that happen. It's super empowering. Whereas if you're waiting for someone to rescue you, that's very disempowering. That is, like kind of a dependent, codependent sort of energy to be in. And I don't think that's main character living, because you need something or need someone. You're waiting for someone to fulfill your needs. So it's really important to take ownership of your own narrative. You need to set boundaries and standards. So protect your energy by saying no to things that don't serve you. Like, I just can't stress this enough. Women in our society have been conditioned to tend to everyone's needs around them and neglect themselves. And once you start setting boundaries and saying no, it's amazing what happens. Like, nothing bad has happened by me doing this. Yes, I've upset people. Yes, people have left my life because I think they couldn't tolerate this version of me that honors myself and respects myself and puts myself first. But that's okay, because those people weren't really meant to be in my life. And now that I'm in this main character energy, having strong boundaries, I've cultivated new friendships. I've changed some of my existing relationships to kind of work with this as well, and to have more understanding around this and improve as a result of doing this. So once you do this, only the right people will stay. The people that respect you, respect your time, respect your health, your energy levels, and understand that when we, don't look after ourselves, we can't show up for other people. So that's really important. This is something I do. It's dressing and trying to present myself with confidence. So that's basically it, being in my own character energy, expressing myself, feeling good, looking the best I can. Really important as well. Curating your environment as well. So that means, and this is something I've done, surrounding myself with people, places, habits, things, and only things that uplift and inspire me. So that's like my friends, my family, going to the gym, taking my dog on adventures, going into nature, listening to music, things like this that really, inspire. The next thing is living with purpose, and this is the final thing, and I think it's the most important thing. When we are in our main character energy, directing our life, we want to live a life that's meaningful to us, that has purpose, and that means setting clear goals, taking action, embracing challenges as part of the journey, and just like moving in a direction that allows us to be 100% fulfilled, where all of our needs are met, and gives us a sense of meaning to our life and makes us feel super good about what we're doing. So I hope this has been helpful for someone, and I hope you can embody your main character energy and make the changes necessary to live your ultimate life. I love you. Bye.